Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Where your glasses at?
Mm-hmm. This is really good. This. Let me say wife. The little middle finger thing is up.
It's not a middle finger.
Oh, the ring finger thing is up. But it looks like a middle finger on the screen to me. That's why.
Oh, okay. I got my questions on here. Look at the first question.
Oh, okay, cool.
You're not supposed to know these things, okay?
Oh, we're recording already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Actually, I said I was gonna start the podcast off different. What up, though? No.
Okay, that's what we're doing.
What up, though?
If that's how you feeling.
Welcome to another episode of Taking the Stage.
Welcome back.
I'm Steve O'Clevo, the math guy. Steve. This is
Paige Babe.
Paige Babe. Okay.
I look so tired, and I am. So.
Well, it's after midnight, and we have two churn.
Your daughter really be trying it,
bruh.
I'm like, she knew we had plans for this evening.
Trying it is an understatement.
She did not want to go to bed. I was like, girl, it's like 11 o'clock. You're never up this late. What's going on?
You literally said that like, she know we gotta.
It was blowing my mind. I'm like, she's not tired.
Well, and that's the thing. I think children can sense those things, right?
Maybe.
Even during special times.
And she had an early nap.
When we try to have our own special little moments. children can sense those too, okay?
Yeah, that's
I don't know why. I don't know how it is. Just they always get sensitive.
Wow.
Okay, so but how was your day, baby?
It was good. I mean, it was okay. It was a long day, but we got through it.
Another law school semester week started and completed.
Mm-hmm. You know.
The
journey continues.
This is your fourth semester now? Well, not in the summer. Okay, so third.
No, wait.
1, 2, 3. So fourth. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have too many left. So.
Yeah. But just as you said,
2 left.
You said next year you will be a lawyer. That's the goal.
By the summer of next year, prayerfully.
Wow. Paige JD.
At least I will say that I will have the JD. Now the bar, that's a completely different beast. I like
figure it out. Okay, so so this episode. Okay, so the last episode we did. It's a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Last episode we did was about so it was supposed to be a 3-part of Steve's leading up to Steve's birth,
right?
Stephen III's birth, and then it's supposed to be one episode about his actual birthday. That led to 2 episodes actually.
Yes.
Then we had an episode in between there, but then the 3rd episode was supposed to be about the aftermath of his existence, essentially, and what all came from that. And so now it's going to be the 4th episode of that series. How I feel having a second child? How does that work?
Not as nervous as I felt leading up to it.
What do you mean nervous? What does that mean? How did you feel leading up to it? Like how that?
You want me to start at the beginning right now?
Sure. Start right.
Well, we remember. So we were moving to a different city.
Yes.
And we had just had so much stuff going on. Like I was first starting law school. We were moving. Like we had a lot going on. So it was, all of that is always a stressful situation. We have a 1-year-old And she wasn't even 1 at the time.
So are you starting from when he was first birthed?
No, you're talking about from you asked
conceived.
Me. No.
Okay. Wait. Why would I
talk about that?
No, I mean, I'm talking. Okay, what? Let the people know where.
The test part. So this Paige. Is December.
Okay. You said the test. I'm thinking about the test for law school.
Okay. No.
You're talking about from when we found out about him.
Yeah, because you asked me how I feel
We've had a whole episode about that. But go ahead.
You asked me how I feel about having 2 children. I was going
back. Okay, so you're rewinding
when I realized we were about to have 2 children.
Well, I want to know. I want to know. They want to know. Okay, all right.
But from that moment, I was just like, oh my goodness, we're about to have kids, plural. And I just remember looking at the pregnancy test, like, mind you, it was the most expensive one. We just randomly had an extra one. And I remember you said, well, you've been acting kind of weird. You sure you want to take a test? I'm like, boy, I have so much stuff going on. Like, get out of my face. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, let me just take this little test. And this said pregnant. And I was like, ooh, we're about to have kids. And I don't know. I spent the majority of the time I don't want to say nervous, but it kind of was like that. It was just the fear of the unknown and wanting to make sure that I was doing everything that I could do to make everything run as smoothly as it could, because we were also going through so many different changes with, career changes, we were moving, and then a baby. It's just, there are a lot of like moving parts. Mm-hmm. And so you can't really, the focus was a little bit different from, what it was with Mel, when it was just easy for us to just hone in on her and her progression and growth and just taking care of me while pregnant, and then COVID and like all of that happening. So it was just a lot, but we're here.
So so let's rewind a bit. Okay, so I think maybe the last I couldn't remember the last thing we said on the last episode, but the last few things that we talked about was about his actual birth date, and then how that changed us, and how that with being in the hospital for
13 days,
2 weeks, and just how that maneuver. But from that step, like bringing him home, and then now he's here with us, with us two, and then Mel, and how that dynamic worked, or how did that I guess, what did you see any changes with her, with you, with us four? Like, how did that play?
I think that him coming home was a beautiful experience for me, because I saw Mel being super excited to have a sibling. I don't think she really grasped, everything that was going on during that time. And so it was hard, like, making sure that I was a fully present parent for her, while also, going through all of the emotions of having a child in the hospital, like, for that long, like, you're not with them, and like your body is like doing all these different things, like as if you have the baby with you, and he's not here. And so when he came home, I just felt whole. I felt like we were whole, as a unit. We just felt, well, to me, it felt complete. Like, this is what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like, I don't know, like, when you're a new parent, like, things come naturally to you. Yeah. It's not like you're just this like robot who you have to like teach to do every little single part. Like, I mean, you're just learning as you go.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of like, get in where you fit in, you make things work where they need to work. Yeah. There's like an ebb and flow to everything. And so that's
to that point, because you earlier this week, I guess, so tangent, very, very tangent. But you said that you had never seen. So oftentimes when I have to put Stephen to sleep, it's because either you're sleeping or you're in school or you're doing something, right? And so you had never seen me put him to sleep.
Yeah.
And it kind of,
that was so
tugged at your little.
It did, because I was like, I have never experienced like me sitting there and you like rocking him to sleep and him actually falling asleep. Right. And then you like going to put him down and like down for his nap and things like that. Yeah.
But it's to your point is that I didn't know that I was like doing that. It's just you have to do it with
it'd be the small things.
Yeah. And so like even today, like, first of all, this boy he was in NICU, but that boy's big. He's huge.
And very strong,
especially compared to us. We're not petite people, but we're small. We're for sure small, and he's the same size as Mel. Yeah. And Mel is almost 3 years old.
Yeah, like tug of war and stuff. And you moving tables and tossing things over. I'm like, dude, you're like 6 months.
He's during the Mel size. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so I had to rock him to sleep like this, yes. And I was like, that moment came to my head. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think that I was doing it until it was necessary to do it.
It's just like that innate part of you that just wants to nurture.
When you're a parent, you have to. Yeah. It's like you said, it's natural, it's nature, it's part of your innate ability to take care of someone. Mm-hmm. So whatever it is, and it's your child, so of course you're going to do so. And so but yeah, no, I was just wondering how you felt about so now that we're on.
Well, I will say, in having two of them, I don't want to answer one of your questions. Okay, so keep on.
Okay, just go with it. What were you about to say? Because I have plenty. Go ahead. With having two of them, Mel and specifically, not just two children.
Yes.
Melody and Stephen, because those are very different humans so far as we know. 6 months in, 6+ months in, those are very different humans.
Right. With having two of them, I will say that, moment of transparency, sometimes I do feel like a little guilty, I guess, because sometimes I feel like there was so much time lost with him, and I was just going through so much with his birth and with the postpartum and everything with him. It was a lot harder this time, and so I do kind of feel like I neglect Mel sometimes, and so that makes me feel guilty, and so I'm always like I feel like I'm going back and forth in between the two of them, like making sure that I give both of them that
equal
same
part of you.
That same like TLC part of me that they need, but also their needs are completely different. So, on one hand, where I can just like sit down and feed him and like, we'll smile and he'll coo and, love on me a little bit. Whereas Mel, she's like, Mommy, get up, come dance. And like she wants me to get up and come dance and like sing and do different things with her. And I'm just like so tired, but still trying to make sure I make that time and to also understand that I'm human and that sometimes I do kind of need a break.
That part, yes.
And to not get, irritated because I'm like, yeah, I'm older than you, but the same way that you at 2 get cranky when you're tired, I get cranky when I'm tired too. So, just finding that balance and just my goal is always to be the best person I can be in front of them. and with them because I don't want them to see me. I don't know, my kids make me better, and so I don't want them to see me in those low moments. I think that that's not something that's for them. So, but also understanding that if I drive myself to do that all the time, that's gonna deteriorate me and like take away from that person I want to be for them. So, you know, trying to take that time for myself to regroup and then be, you know, presentable.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially. Okay, so I say it all the time that the way we try to parent, specifically attention wise, right? When we're trying to give so much to them and try to give all of ourselves to them, it's draining. And literally, like, I mean, for you specifically, when you're feeding one while the other one's on your back, right?
While I'm in class or reading cases, like
while you're studying for law school, like, right? It can be draining, or it is draining, and so we have to be careful, like you said, with that part of it, that we have to there's a fine line between, okay, giving your all and then you can't give actually you anymore, because you're not truly yourself unless you get some time for yourself. But no, the reason I ask is because, again, and I said specifically with a Mel and a Steven, right? They're so drastically different so far as we know. With she's high energy all the time. She's just on as soon as she wakes up, just on it. And he's just so mild mannered and just keeps to himself and kind of, he doesn't say much unless he's hungry or tired.
Right.
So it's just kind of and which is.
But she was like that as a baby too, so I'm excited to see.
No, she was not.
She was.
She wasn't mild mannered. She was.
No, I'm saying she was.
Oh, she was the way she is now. Oh, gotcha. Well, but the reason I bring it up is because that's us. I'm energy on just
really good
on cue, just right. And I'm not saying I'm like that all the time. I'm just not like that all the time. But I'm like that when the time comes, when it's time to be on. I'm on it, and you're just kind of. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I'll be over here.
I'll be present. I'll be there. But it's kind of, those are our personalities, which is
how y'all doing. And just go and find my seat.
Okay. All right. I'll be over here. Y'all got food? Okay. Cool. I'll be here.
No, you need the food. The corner.
The corner. Not the corner chair.
The corner chair. That's me.
But it's funny that they take our personalities because. You know, when I imagined our kids, first of all, I didn't imagine their personalities. I didn't think about their personalities. I just thought about them in theory, right? I mean, that's how my mind was.
Being grown, that's what I thought.
You did not expect kids.
I never thought about the kid, the baby and toddler and all that. I never thought about that.
Which is interesting because I always thought about that. And I always thought about, this is going to be an exhausting experience, but I'm ready for it for the end goal. But also, I never thought about their personalities. I never thought about who they would be or who they would be like or what they would be like. I just thought about them in theory, like, okay, this is going to be, that's going to be good to have a son and daughter, and let's just see how it goes. And then now that I see their personalities forming, it's just...
That's the word right there. Like when you can see their personalities forming, that makes, well, for me, that's what I mean when I say my kids make me better. Because when you can see how your actions and your reactions and how you deal with them and the activities you do with them and the things you teach them, like when you see all of that in them,
just coming,
that makes you like really think twice about how you deal with them and what you want them to see. So I'm like, I don't want my kids to see us like arguing. I don't want our kids to see us like fighting. I don't want my kids to see me upset or like, you know, angry. I mean, of course, realistically, we're human. They'll have to see some sort of things like that. But I don't want that to be their norm. I don't want them to be like afraid of me. I don't want them to be afraid to speak. Or
the reason I'm smiling is because, okay, full transparency.
What?
So, I prefer my children to say underwear. Okay? All right? Underwear. Panties, not too much, but at least panties is, but at least underwear.
Steven, come on now. I say it sometimes.
Where your drawers at?
And Mel says, no drawers.
No drawers. No draw. Okay, we need her not to say drawers. Okay.
She said, oh, Paw Patrol drawers right there. I was like, okay.
There's underwear with Paw Patrol on them. That's what
you trying to call me out? What about she?
Okay, first of all.
And Mel's right behind you. She.
Directly behind me. She. Mel, that's not what I meant to say.
You're not supposed to.
Good. I say goodness gracious. I say goodness gracious. All right. But no, but like you said, it makes you better. It makes
because they're like little, like everybody says, it's so cliche.
Yes,
they're sponges right now, so
everything you say, you do, everything they see it, they hear it, and
they feed off that energy.
So. Well, but also, especially because so it's not just that we want to be careful about what we say and do around them, but it's more because we care about those things, right? So
yes.
Some people just don't. Some people just like, but I can just reteach them or relearn them or erase that thought or that idea from their head. But when they're 2 years old, you can't undo those things from when they're 2. And so we care about, the growth of their mind at this age, even such.
Yeah, and some people just have that mindset of like, they're just kids, so what? Which is like wild to me that people think like that.
And some, and
I feel like, but you're talking about your kids, right?
Well, and that's no shade to them. It's just kind of, but people just and that's not how we are. Let's put it like that. We can recognize that is an important. This is an important stage, even as kids. That matters. Those things matter, right? How do you think Mel is as a sister?
I think she's a great sister. I think sometimes she can like overshoot it a little bit. She thinks she's the mama sometimes, but
she thinks she's the grandma at times.
I think she is great as a sister. Like whenever, like I've seen her jump up today. He was taking his nap in the bedroom, and she jumped up and was like, "Oh no, brother crying!" Like when he woke up, he was crying, and so she said, "Oh no, brother crying!" And so she ran to the bedroom and like, was trying to help and things like that. She's very helpful. She always wants to give him a bath. She wants to wash his hair.
She wants to change his blanket and sleep. She want to give him a blanket. I'm like, bro.
We said the N-word on him?
Yes, bitch. Well, at least I do.
You got it. I didn't know because you always get on me about some of the things that I see, but I was just asking. I was double checking.
Trigger, please.
Okay. But she loves like reprimanding him. I think that's her favorite pastime.
No, brother, no, and she just repeats the reprimands that we've given her. Yeah. No, poo-poo in the toilet, not in your pamper.
Yes, I'm supposed to poo-poo in the toilet, not in your pamper. Yeah, it's so funny. A stinky booty. Ooh, stinky booty. But I love that, like, kind of like Lil Shane does. He reads to Third all the time.
Yes.
He reads scriptures to him. Uh-huh. And Mel will sing to him all the time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, most of all the songs that she knows are the songs that we sing at church. Mm-hmm. So she sings to him all the time. She prays over him. Mm-hmm. She, I don't know. She's a great big sister. Like, to me, she is.
Yeah, I concur. I think when we talked about this the other day, I think her goal. Okay, so she's a lot as a person, but her goal is always to help. That's the crazy part. It's always trying to just give of herself.
Yeah,
like you said, it can be a lot. Also, it can be, not necessarily at the right time. Or right. She doesn't know any better. She's 2.
Yeah, she's only 2, but like she's advanced for 2.
Yes.
So you have to remind yourself constantly, like, okay, she's only 2.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But she's always trying to give, and so as a big sister, she's amazing.
She
just
is.
because she's trying to give herself in the first place. So like I tell you all the time, as soon as she wakes up, first thing she thinks of is, or even on a, like if we FaceTime to somebody, she like, hey, look at brother, look at
brother. Like, girl, that is not FaceTime. It's a regular call.
Right. So, but she's always trying to give of herself or give to the next, I guess.
Yeah.
And show off.
She definitely thinks about others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I have. How do you think you're handling being a mother of 2? I think you're handling it
as best as I can. I think I kind of covered it a little bit earlier. It's just making sure that I'm always conscious of taking care of myself so that I can be present for, not just them 2, but also you as well.
I'll be here. I'll be all right.
But that's not acceptable for me. That's not me. So it's not even making sure that I have time for myself, but just making sure that I keep that like mental capacity open and not allow myself to become overwhelmed. I think that if you catch things like early enough, it allows you that freedom to like really work through it. So like, when I feel myself becoming overwhelmed and things like that, I'll just, I just become like very like quiet and a little pensive and like just introverted, and you see that, and you'll give me that, space for me to recharge.
I remember my dad said a long time ago, he said, being he was talking about specifically me, my mom, my brother, and him. He was saying being the head of household, or being, he said, the man of the house. But anyway, being head of household meant eventually you had to become just a manager, a manager of household. And meaning that you had to make sure you know how to coordinate everybody's. At this time we were grown, so like schedules and personalities and those things. But I think the growth part of the generation is that at this age or at this time we know now, okay, it's a part of being parents is managing. Okay, well, yourself, your husband, your wife, your kids, each of them are different, and being able to construct how it's supposed to go and coordinate perfectly, or as perfect as possible, like you said. So yeah, I get it. That
there was this video, I sent it to you on Instagram today. This man stopped this lady, like she was struggling, like trying to I guess wrangle her kids or whatever, and he was like, I just want to let you know that you're doing an exceptional job, because the job of a mom is the
black dude, white lady.
Yeah.
Oh, that became viral a few
and he was like, yeah, because you have to like manage, you gotta set doctor's appointments, you gotta brush teeth and potty train. I was like, you do have to do all that. You're right.
Over here cries McGee over here.
Wait, and like my wrist had just popped again for the second time today. I was like, I got out of class, I had to wash dishes, I folded clothes, I had to clean. Not to say you haven't done anything. You have been doing an exceptional job.
I've been doing a great job. Hold on a second.
I said exceptional. That's a better word than great. Come on now.
All right. I'll take it. Anywho. How's law school with these 2? How's that panning out?
Panning in a pandemic?
Pandemicking out.
Right.
See what they do.
Honestly, I think it would be a lot different if, without the pandemic.
Different how?
Because we would have to have them in some
indifferent?
No, not indifferent. We would have to have them in some sort of daycare.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Or we probably wouldn't be in the city we're in. Probably would be.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Or is it indifferent. That's what I meant.
I think I'm grateful.
There we go. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes. Grateful that
Choose
I'm
your words
able to,
wisely.
right. I'm able to take care of my kids, continue on with my studies, and to just progress.
Yeah. And I think even more so, I think it'd be not only different, but it would be. I don't think that you would get the fulfillment of being a new mother of two if you were not at home.
I was talking to Janae about this like a couple weeks ago. It's like we were both talking about our experiences with like kind of working from home, but still like not really being present.
Mm-hmm.
And you still do have that mom guilt. Like, when I hear my kids crying, or even if I hear them laughing, or just knowing that they're here just on the other side of the door, I want to be with them. And so sometimes it does cross my mind, like, maybe I should just go to campus. Yeah. And maybe it'll be a little bit easier on them and me because they know I'm here. Well, she comes and she knocks and she tries to come in, and like me, I'm like, maybe it would be just easier on like emotionally psyche, easier.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Than being here. So sometimes it does cross my mind.
In the long run, would it be though? Like, would you be like, oh yeah, but I in the first couple of years or first year of his life, I wasn't as present as I could because I was in law school. Like, would that play in the long run? Or I'm asking legit. I'm not like being sarcastic. I'm asking like legit. Like, or would you say, well, at least I was like there every day, like right there in the other room. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm just curious because I don't know. Or have you thought about those things as well? The other side of that.
It depends on the day you ask me.
Very valid. Like, very valid.
Towards the middle, end of semester, around finals and stuff, I'm just like, I don't need to be here. It's so much harder to get things done.
Oh yeah.
While I'm here.
Gotcha. Yes.
Than if I wasn't.
Yeah.
And so, and also sometimes I'm like, girl, why would you just like, you could have just continued to try to like climb the corporate ladder and have 8 hours of your day free from Mel singing songs all day.
Listen.
She sings from like the time she wakes up.
What she's talking about is, so when I was a kid, my mom would make songs of anything that we needed to know. And so I would love to sing those, or she would just make like random little. Now my mom is not a songstress or a singer by any means. You ain't gonna do Dequisha. I said, hold on. I didn't say she couldn't sing. I didn't say she could either.
She's a great soprano.
Neither here nor there. So, but she would make songs of anything. And so I would always just randomly do the same. So in raising Mel, whenever there was something I would, think about, or something that I know she needs to do, or something like, taking a bath or whatever, I'll just make a jingle out of it, essentially. Mel does that with everything now.
Like the other day, she did a rendition of
Yahweh.
What, the Hebrew Our Father?
Yeah. So okay.
She did that.
Yahweh. Yeah.
But
by Maverick City.
Her lyrics were, she was serving me and her father and I, dinner. So that was
she was just
the remix.
Daddy gets some food. Mommy gets some more food.
Mommy wants some more. Like, it's nonstop.
And she's not exaggerating from the moment she wakes up.
Like,
until she goes.
I'm like, Melody, did you brush your teeth? No.
No. Melody didn't brush your teeth. Okay, so How do you think I'm handling fatherhood of 2?
I think you handle it well. I think I can see on your face a lot that this is everything you ever wanted. And then also sometimes I can see the overwhelming exhaustion. You know that the first few months of having a newborn, that tiredness is just like a different level of exhausted.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I can see it on your face. But for the most part, I feel like you, like I always say, you adapt very well to a lot of situations.
Yeah.
That's just your personality.
Yeah.
And when it becomes too much, you know how to, like, I guess, take that time, like, or not even take the time, but you know how to shift very easily.
Yeah. I can adapt, or even make sure I don't get overwhelmed.
But it takes a lot for you to, like, wear down with your patience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will say that I always make sure that you get your nap every day, because
all 3 of us, not her, the other 3.
Right. I
make sure we all get our nap.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to take our nap. This is exhaustion. But
you're very good with them, and you're very good. And also thank you for how you are with them. Like, especially when you see that I'm tired. Like, sometimes I'm tired and I see that you're tired too, and you're just like, no, you lay down, or like, I'm gonna go take the kids. You get a couple more minutes of rest, or like things like that. And you get up very early. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, maybe that's his time. That's his personal time.
They don't be personal time. It's last one sleep, first one awake. Is early the bird catch the worm type of thing. That's why I need my nap. But but no, it's more of I know what needs to be done first or late at night, first thing in the morning. So I try to get it done, and especially during this past couple weeks when we've been inside.
Sick.
I know that things need to be done. I'm just gonna get done at its own time. I ain't gonna rush my day. I'm inside.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think I'm adjusting as both of us are, especially with him now being not. We have to take care of him every moment of every day. Like, it's not like you have to hold him and keep him and take care of him.
Around now.
So it's now it's more okay. I can be more fluid and kind of move with them because Mel doesn't stop moving. So we can move all 3 of us together, or all 4 of us together. And so it's becoming interesting. As you said, I kind of envisioned this as a kid. I always wanted, my wife, my boy, my girl, I'm good to go,
Yeah. Sometimes I look over at you and you just have this like smirk on your face, like, this is the greatest moment of my life.
It is. All of them are. Man, you sound cheesy as mud. Come on, man.
I was about to say, I'd be like, no, I don't feel like baking an iPhone cake.
Princess. But yeah, I think it's working well for my dad said I say "for" too much. But in that same vein, I mean, that's what so I gave the sermon this past a week on Shabbat, and that's my sermon was about, right? It's about purpose. It's about well, what is your purpose? Why are you here? Why do you exist? Why are you still here? What's your purpose in life? And what did the Almighty mean for? Or why are you still here? What's the reason?
Yeah.
And it's I think at least a huge portion of my reason of being here is to be a husband and father. And so I think that's what you said, what you see when it's the greatest moment of my life. I think that's a part of the purpose, so. Anywho, how is it being a father of a baby boy? Because that's different from Mel, right?
How was it? I'm not a father.
A mother. I meant mother. I put father. I meant mother. I typed the wrong word. This is supposed to be questions I'm asking her. How's it being a father, baby boy? Well, how's it being a mother? I'll type this quickly, okay?
How's it being a mother of a baby boy? Well, yes. He's an infant, so it just feels like taking care of a newborn. I will say that my only critique would be the first 2 months of being peed on every single day. Every single day, multiple times a day.
Multiple times.
Now he hasn't peed on me recently at all. For a while. But the first 2 months, it was like every single day. And also, I don't like changing boys. I don't know who came up with this misconception that it was easier than changing girls.
It seems a lot. Well, because you don't have to worry about which way you wipe. It doesn't matter if you wipe front to back or back to front. With girls, it does matter.
That doesn't make it more difficult. You have to like lift up the penis shaft and pull down the flap and get all around. Like,
first of all, a lot. These people didn't ask for all that description. Okay.
You asked me how is it being a / mother of a boy?
I'm just saying.
I
was more saying how we're going to raise our baby boy versus our baby girl. That's what I meant. Not the description of his penis flask and all that. Okay.
Shaft, not flask.
I meant flap and shaft. I was trying to.
How is it being a father?
I'm tired. It's 12:45. Goodness gracious.
But okay. So you mean how do you think we're gonna raise him?
I just meant what's gonna be the difference, babe. It's a podcast. We gotta talk about something. I'm asking pertinent questions, Paige.
I think that I have more of like that old school approach to parenting, which we talk about all the time. So
you as old as they get. You are.
But I think
31 going on 71.
Hold up now. I'm 29. What you talking about?
31 going on 71.
Bro. But I do think that in raising them both, especially because they're close in age, I'll be probably instilling a lot of similar values into them.
Yeah.
And so, like I always say, I'm not raising a mama's boy.
Why you have to go like this though?
Because I am serious about that.
Why you had to boss up on my dude? You had to boss up on my son.
I want both of my kids. I want my children to be like just sufficient, like independently sufficient on their own, and like be able to at least take care of themselves. I don't really think about who they'll be with or how their full lives will turn out. Yeah. But I do want to make sure that I'm raising children who can be of some sort of like service in addition to the world and the people they're around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to be like I don't want them to drain everybody. And so.
Too late for now. Too late.
Well, no, she's drained me, but she definitely works.
I was joking. Oh, no.
Yes. So, but being a father of a boy, sometimes I do think that
a father of a boy? See?
I said, oh, no, I'm reading your question.
She said it too.
But I'm reading your question. If you want to fix your question, being a mother of a boy,
it's a PDF.
I do think that it's funny that your document is in PDF form, but I do think it's
actually a snapshot of the.
You want me to answer the question?
Go ahead, man.
Sometimes I am a little afraid that I'll be a little bit harder on him because he's a boy. But in my mind, I'm like, is it really harder or is it just a different lesson?
See, the interesting part is that I think, this is just me, and I think both of us will think this from personal experience, because we're both the eldest child, that because he's the second born, then we may be easier on him. Because as eldest children, we know.
But I think that's our cautionary tale, though. So I think that we'll be thinking that a lot. So I feel like we'll try. I think for me, well, from what I do now, I do try a lot to make sure I'm being like
try
even.
to be balanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, because like I'll chastise Mel and then go right and smile at his face. I'm like, how does Mel see that? You see what I'm saying? So
I think about that sometimes.
Yeah,
that's why I do give her a little bit of leverage sometimes.
Yeah.
But if she getting like pop, you notice I bring her behind closed doors.
We're not gonna talk about that, Paige. Not gonna talk about that. Okay? That was a whole thing last week. A whole thing. All right?
But yeah, I try not to, like, sometimes when I'm feeding him and he's like falling asleep and stuff, and she'll come, she want to lay on me because I'm holding him.
Yeah. You can tell that
sometimes I try not to. I make a conscious effort to be like, okay, well, go get your blanket and come lay with mommy.
Mm-hmm. And I can tell that because it's especially with her being the girl, him being the boy, but you have to feed him, and so it's kind of, she sees, well, but that's the attention I want from my mom. So it's a whole
she sees
thing,
that
right?
I'm like welcoming in that sense as well.
Yeah,
that makes her comfortable.
Yeah,
like yeah.
I have. How do you think I'm handling that? Being a father of a boy. We have a visitor.
You can't pause this?
All right, so Stephen III has joined us for the last few minutes of this podcast. So if you hear him, that's what's going on. Okay. I think I said, how do you think I'm handling being
yeah, that was the one. Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay. How's COVID and being inside with two youngsters? How's that playing? How do you think that is working out?
Like, you mean like being sick with COVID or the pandemic?
I just meant the pandemic.
The pandemic, I don't know. I guess it's become like a new normal because I was already inside with Mel because she was a infant when the whole pandemic started.
Yeah.
And then we kind of went into staying home all together. And I don't know, after going through we're going into year 3 of the pandemic now.
Yeah.
So I will struggle to try to understand how some people still feel feel weird. Like, this is normal to you now?
I meant different from being with just me, you, and Mel, and then now having a fourth party involved, and how that's what I meant by but we're still all focused on being inside and kind of pandemic-y. Is that a word? I don't know.
Pandemic-y. I think that we've always kind of been very like close-knit and homebodies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that the pandemic is a good thing or anything, but I will say that it hasn't made us like struggle.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people struggle with the whole staying inside and like doing I don't think that we struggle with that like too much. It's not like, I don't think it takes away from us being, our family unit.
Yeah, we're like you said, we're for the most part homebodies anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So we're kind of used to staying close knit, staying always being together. Now every day being together, it can wear, but I mean it doesn't.
Well, it's not like
wear
detrimental.
It doesn't. Our family unit is pretty. That's how we always planned it anyway. Right? That's how we always that's how we've been. I mean, we've been together for 13 years, so
like it's always us.
Always.
I mean, it is nice to like, when we can get a sitter or things like that. That's, I guess, will be the only thing we don't really have that freedom of being like, okay, well, let me call so and so the kids can be watched by this person today.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that freedom. It's just, us and the kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of have to carve out time for us.
That's what it is. It's more of, literally right now we're doing this podcast and we try to carve out time.
Yeah.
We still.
It's like either we have to like wake up very early or stay up late or like whisper during their naps, like things like that. But outside of that, I guess it's fine. But that's not really due to COVID. I think that's just us being out of the range of like our villages,
out of big cities,
and like the refuge and stuff like that. So,
all right, last thing. So we go to church every week, often. Well, not the past 2 weeks because COVID stuff. Okay, but how is church with them two? How do you think church has been with two of them, not just Mel? Because Mel is already a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Mel, at church, she's active. Let's go with that. That's a proper way to say it. But now with him along with it, how do you think church goes for you? How's the being at church experience when we have church?
It is a huge relief because from the moment we touch down on the property, soon as I step foot out of the car, I'm like, take these kids, bring him to me when he's hungry, and that's it. Like, that's really the only time we get reprieve from, like,
being on mommy duty all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
And, I love that it's, like, not even us asking somebody to... Oh, that hurt, boy. It's not even us, like, asking somebody to take them. Mm-hmm. It's more like everyone like, oh, my goodness, let me hold him. Like, the girls being like, oh, let me get there. Let me take care of him. And I'm like, okay. Or Mel playing with her cousins, like, getting that time in. And
Nunu and
Mimi, Nana Fall, T-Shaw Ween.
Pee-pee.
Yeah. Like, she is all over the place. She's always so excited to see everyone. And so I just love that that's, home for them.
Mm-hmm.
And also that I get a breather.
Yeah.
Me and Nene get to catch up sometimes.
Yeah. It's, and what I meant, okay, so reason I asked is because, like, first of all, when it was just her, we were at a different place, right? We were at 2810. It was a whole different.
Yeah, we have to go and come back.
Vibe,
so like
different, yeah.
As much time.
Oh, you yawning on the potty again?
I'm sorry.
See what I'm saying?
It's so late.
Ain't like it's 1:09 in the morning or nothing.
Right. Like, I've been up since like 5 o'clock.
But the reason I asked is because it's been a whole with when we only had her. It was a whole different experience to what we have now. And so now having both of them, even though it's two, it seems a little bit different, right?
It's like, I get time for like my brain to rest.
Yeah.
Like, I get time to like think. So, ouch. And just like having that time to like give the Father full worship and just that time and attention, it means a lot.
You are not featured on this podcast.
I'm about to say, you are not in this, boy. And go back to sleep.
I guess we're out of here. Thank you for taking the stage. Appreciate y'all. And we'll
It was nice to be back.
Nice to be back.
Yes.
We're gonna get more of these every week from now on. I don't want to hear any nonsense.
Oh, and you didn't even give me my shout out.
What you mean?
2 weeks ago. Look at pull up the calendar.
I already said it was you turned 31.
I
said that on the
I did not. 29.
You talking about 29? You 31 years of age. Happy belated PZ buckets on the ones and twos. You hear me? 31 years of age.
Would it be the 3s and 1? No.
Huh?
Sorry. You said the 1s and 2s. I know what you meant, but I was trying to be funny.
Oh, the 3s and 1. Well, a better joke would have been no Cavs beat the Warriors on the 3s and 1 because they came back from 3-1. The first team in history in the finals come back 3-1. I just watched that.
I don't know.
I just watched that. You don't even know.
Same done, so I'm done with sports.
Girl, I was talking a whole basketball.
I know the Cavs and Warriors.
Oh,
I'm talking about sports in general.
Anywho, any last thing, babe? Paige, babe.
No, but I will say we have more to come. We talked a lot, brainstormed a lot about the next level for the potty.
Mm-hmm.
So just be on the lookout.
Yeah, man. Steven, do you have anything? No? Okay. He said no. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Oh, boy.
Spitting up on the potty, boy. Everywhere. Are you serious? All right. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, YouTubers. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also listen to our audio podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Have a good one.